I just wanted to run a quick video that runs along the same theme of financial issues heading our way as a nation that kind of themed from my last video that I dropped last week. And I just keep hinting at that I think there's going to be a financial crisis coming. And of course, there always is one coming. Somewhere along the end of 2026 to the beginning of 2027, I feel we're going to be involved in a larger conflict. And the reason I say this is because I just always kind of viewed war and conflicts as being something that nations can use to wipe debt. And there's a lot of literature out there that kind of supports that idea. But the article that I came across was by CNBC, and they announced that Walmart is going to be now accepting Bitcoin and other crypto through the OnePay app. And the reason I believe other companies are going to be using this tactic is because taking crypto like Bitcoin that has a somewhat base behind it, a foundation, some sort of activity behind it as to why and how it's being developed, so therefore it has a trust behind it, is more like an investment. So it's not like just taking $1, but you're taking $1 now in the hopes that that $1 is going to be $2 and $3. Not to mention then you're putting that in a bank that is also giving you interest on that money that you have within it. So it's interest accumulating interest. It's an amazing financial gain that if you have that kind of money, it has to be amazing to be a part of it. I'm not one of those people, but I am somebody that observes it. But anyways, what this article said is that there's a 10% chance by the end of this year that Bitcoin is going to reach $145,000 per Bitcoin. So that, again, like you take a certain amount of Bitcoin now, that amount of Bitcoin by the end of the year is going to be that much more. And that's not including the investment into and by the bank that you're putting your money into. Sadly, that also means that the dollar is very weak. I know there's been a lot of talks that eventually, and I do believe it eventually, the U.S. currency is going to go digital. And unfortunately, digital currency means that there's going to be more control of the consumer, the buyer, the seller. And that means there's probably at some point going to be even more wealth being transferred into those at the very top and away from the average person. Finally, at the end of the day, I think this article insinuates that we're going to be heading towards more smaller conflicts or investing into other global conflicts, because when we invest into conflicts and then when we have our own conflicts, we can wipe away debt. I think historically it's shown that when larger countries enter wars, it is always to wipe away debt. And I think the amount of debt we've accumulated over the last decade is a type of debt that even the best economists can't get by. And I think this is going to be our only way out. And unfortunately, that means loss of life. And that's a terrible thing. I think that's a horrible thing, especially when the only reason we're losing those lives is because of money. But unfortunately, that's the game played by these oligarchs globally.